Hello, everyone. Um, where you are at right now um, is because you've given your love to something dangerous. Um, I feel like called to phrase it that way specifically. I don't really know why. It's just the first thing that came into my head. Um, where you're at right now is because you gave love to something dangerous, right? Um, you took a risk. You you took a risk on something, I would say. Um, and I would say it's very aligned with who you are, right? With the Hermit and the Lovers coming out, it's very aligned with who you are. Um, I could easily take this as a love reading, but I could also see it as something like financial as well. Um, yeah, I could easily see it going either way. But whatever it is very aligned with who you are, right? Um, for me, the Lovers is also um, it's an energy of individualism too, right? But it's individualism between two people and coming together. Um, Lovers is a card of two people being completely themselves and being accepted by one another. So you can take that as a person and a person, or you can take it as a person and an opportunity, right? Um, where both things are not without their flaws, but they're perfect. They're a perfect match for each other, right? That's how I see it anyway. And with the Hermit, right? Um, about going within, and you've thought about this. You thought about it a lot before you gave in fully to it, right? Um, or maybe you're currently in the process of giving into it fully, but you thought about it a lot. You're a deep thinker. Um, you try to align things with yourself and move in a way that is in alignment with yourself. Um, and where this is heading is some kind of commitment, right? Four of Wands is typically a like commitment card. I mean, in this, I think that's supposed to be a proposal, right? But formal commitment, right? Again, between two people, right? Between either you and another person or you and an opportunity, right? I'm not. I think it will be different for different people who see this video, because I just don't feel a strong feeling one way or the other towards which one it is. So I can see it being either. So take it as whatever resonates for you. All right. Don't try to make anything fit. What we have here, this is the positive outcome, the Two of Wands, right? Which is, in this card, it's very like contemplative, right? It's very like sure of themselves, right? Self-assurance, boldness, right? I think this is like the positive outcome of the situation is you believing in your risk here, right? You're believing in this risk, right? How it's likely to turn out already is that, well, it works out, right? Whatever this risk was, it leads to a commitment. And the most positive outcome is that you see that happens and you think, oh, I did that, right? And with the Eight of Wands here too, it's pretty fast, right? It's gonna feel fast, at least. Yeah, whatever it is, it's gonna feel fast. It's gonna feel, but it's not gonna feel bad. Like, nothing in this screams bad. And actually, the card of what you're supposed to cut away is this devil energy, right? Which, in this context, like, in a thing that you would want to cut away, addiction, how I would see this for this situation is that you have to cut away a kind of, a mindset, right? You might have a way of thinking, it doesn't even really scream to me like you need to get rid of this or this won't happen. I think you need to get rid of this for this to happen, for you to have assurance in yourself after this happens, right? That's how I see this right now, is that, like, this will happen regardless, right? Because you've taken the risk even though you have this, right? You've done the hard thing even though you have this, right? And because you've done that thing, it's going to work out. But to have this like self-assurance in yourself and your abilities, right? And this like contentment, right? You have to get rid of this. Whatever this is for you, right? And because I am feeling it linked very heavily to this, right? Not the outcome of the situation, but the outcome about how you feel about yourself after the situation unfolds in the beautiful way that it seems like it's going to. This screams to me as like a mindset, or like maybe you don't give yourself enough credit. Maybe you have a tendency, like, when things work out for you, you're just like, oh, well, that was lucky. Awesome. Yeah. But you don't give yourself the credit or enough credit, or even like giving other people credit too, right? Being like, oh, that person really stepped up for me. That's amazing. But then, you know, when you're like, oh, that person stepped up for me. Well, why did they step up for you? Because you're you, right? Especially in something like this that feels like a pretty large success or a pretty big deal. I would say, like, whatever this is, right? Like, you've done the hard thing, you've done it. Whatever the situation is, like, you deserve to celebrate yourself for it, right? Once it works out. Confirmation on this too, that, oh, you just like, oh, I lost it, man. It distracted me. Yeah, just give yourself more credit. Give yourself more credit. Give yourself more credit for when things work out. Look at what you did, right? And celebrate that, right? Think about what you did. And if you didn't do a certain thing, how none of this would have happened, right? Because there's always like some action on our part, right? Even like you think about like winning the lottery. Okay, you still chose to go play the lottery, right? You still did that. Only people, wait, okay, this is not, don't go gamble or buy lottery, but I'm not, I'm not telling you to go do that. It's an example, okay? You cannot win the lottery without going and trying it, right? This is not, you could technically, It's funny. So I was about to be like, no, this everything I've said, it kind of lines up, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. This doesn't make sense with like the lottery, whatever. But loving something dangerous like kind of does line up with like the lottery or whatever. It's really funny. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. It just made me laugh. Oh my god. Anyway, whatever is happening here, you had your part in it. Give yourself credit for it. Stop giving into this like mindset that's holding you back, right, from enjoying a success, right? Because like this is enjoying a success, right? Self-assurance and like this kind of like contemplated like self-assurance, boldness, right? Usually comes from a success of some sort, right? When you do something and you accomplish something, you're like, wow, that really worked out. This only comes if you're like, yeah, I did that, right? I had my part in that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, see you in the next one.